Alright, now that I'm kicking around things, clearly the day is on. Oh no, I've had this measuring cup for ages. I don't want it to be broken. So I'm doing my laundry today. That's next on the list of super exciting vlog stuff. That's the thing, you kind of wonder when you make these, you're like, I do not have a jet-setting life. And I mean, of course I don't have one now. So kind of the impression that you get from some people when they make these is like, how do they sustain these lives? These hot, wet lives that are not the easiest thing to do. I mean, you don't want to know, actually to be fair, Jack Black, when he's making his stuff, often he's playing video games, but then again, he's Jack Black. He's incredibly entertaining to watch. Whereas I'm like, you know what I'm going to do now? Exciting new developments on the vlog. We're going to do laundry. But hey, you know, maybe that's what people need right now, is a sort of moment away from the intensity of their days. Hang out with Dave while he hangs up and puts laundry outside, because I do not have a dryer because I'm in Japan, so I'm not gonna have the sort of amenities that you might in the West. Okay. But maybe it could be interesting, because this is, of course, because I don't have a dryer. Because I don't have a dryer, then there's the whole, like, you hang it up outside the Japanese way. And maybe someone finds that curious. This isn't procrastination, by the way. I know I said that I'll be starting work. Maybe it's a little bit of procrastination, actually. But I should get this done, because you have to do it earlier in the day, or basically, I mean, not like it's a really hot day or anything, but if you don't do it now, and then the sun goes down, then nothing's gonna dry. You gotta take care of it. Okay, tilt this a little live action laundry hanging. Let's see, I think that might be bad if I have the light too directly behind me, then you can't see me, whereas if I'm side lit, then it looks good. Okay. Man, I tell you, returning to physical fitness, physical health, if you've had any time off, those first few days are so hilarious. There's such a physical resistance. You think that your body had never worked out before. But then I love, like I'm experiencing now, this kind of feeling that you're reborn when you pass through that. You always are. And there's just like this willingness, this like magic in you, because you've like sparked all these drugs, all these chemicals in your brain that are so positive, where today, I mean, I had intentions to work, but then I was like, as soon as I ran, I was like, you know what? Suddenly I have the energy to make this vlog, and there's all sorts of like negative voices that are like, your life's boring, you know, nobody cares, and well, that may remain true. Both of those may remain true, but you're not so deterred by them that you don't do anything at all. You're like, well, screw it, I'll just do it anyways, regardless of all of that. And it's funny to me where like I talk a lot about like attitude and videos where I like to think I discuss difficult topics not to bemoan their difficulty, but to try and look at solutions for them. But I think we would almost be terrified by how much our ability to act well, to be creative, ultimately ends up being the result of chemicals. Now, you do have a choice. I suppose that's what's incredible, is that when you're down, you have the choice that even though your emotions would dictate to you to like just curl up, go into like a tired cocoon and don't do anything, and you go out the door, and then you give yourself the jump start with chemicals that you need to get you doing more productive things. But that it's so easy to be at the mercy of these chemicals. Like, I really do have compassion for people who, a lot of people doing nothing because it's such an overriding force. I mean, I'm probably lucky as someone who is usually physical, so I have a history of knowing that if I do physical things, I'm gonna feel better. No matter what this mood now, it's gonna jumpstart that. And I'll suddenly be like, oh, I want to make a vlog, hell or high tide, who cares how it goes? But I know that because I have a history of working out, and so I appreciate how difficult that must be for people who have like never seen the light of day. They've never worked out, they've never known this sort of high, or like, it's a creative spark. I mean, I don't actually see there being much difference between calling it a high or creative spark. It ends up in the same thing. You do stuff, no matter what that stuff is. You just not only do you do it, but I mean your mood is so elevated, which is wonderful. I mean, that's a big thing. And of course there's things that you experience when you're out running. Today, for example, I've already talked about it. I'm trying to do these intervals. That's my goal right now, because it doesn't take me so far away. It's less impactful on my knees, which I want to have them for a long time because I want to be like fit well into my hundreds. But when you go out and you do those things, then you see a lot of great stuff. Like around here, I kind of suspected from my driving, I was like, I think it's actually quite beautiful if I were to go over this way. And it was. Lo and behold, when I was running, the area that I ended up at was like serene, beautiful, kind of semi-tropical, which I find a lot of Japan actually is, even in these areas that has all 4 seasons, as Japan is so fond of talking about. Yeah. Long story short, go out, be physically active, and it's like you just drugged yourself in the most positive sense of the word, because you'll feel like doing things. You'll feel like making vlogs when usually you'd be like, no, it's not enough. You gotta, compose epic shots and think of a distinct conversational, political topical selection thing. When really, I mean, it almost doesn't matter. I suppose that's the other thing. You can be excited about the end result, but you're thinking less about the end result. You're just like, I'll just do it because it suits my mood right now to do this thing. Yeah, it's good. It's good. The laundry must be done anyways, right? Adulting in the popular current vernacular would be the expression used most aptly in this case. Man, it was so... I haven't even finished it yet. I hope this doesn't blow my clothes off the line. That new Rogan podcast, I love that. That would be a dream of mine, is being on the Rogan podcast. But then I think I could generally have a really interesting conversation. I think I could with most people. But the way that you get to have an interesting conversation on that podcast is that you live an interesting enough life that you've done something worth being there to just talk, where I think a good conversation in itself is worth it, but you do need to have that street cred as to why it is exactly that you're there, which I think with the current scale of my channel perhaps flies a little bit under the Joe Rogan podcast radar. Listening to a nice podcast, grabbed a little bit of groceries, and now I'm going to make dinner in my very humble setting here, which now that I'm not eating garbage day in and day out, I've had to round that corner because I don't want to turn into a butterball. It's all pretty straightforward. That, if I were to vlog many times, would be revealed. I eat very similar things, but they're healthy, so what the hell. if you've seen me cook before, you know what's kind of going on. But the big thing that's changed for me, I think significantly, I just consume less protein now. I mean, I used to consume so much for the gym, but I think just through my own personal experience that the amount of protein that I consumed was in excess of what you would actually need to still develop. Maybe that's also changed as a result of how old I am now. I'm not sure. But yeah, lean, aesthetic body type, if that's what you're going for, I think the consume a gram of protein for every pound of body weight that you have, I feel like that's excessive. I feel as though your body is more efficiently able to make use of the protein at lower levels than that. Not only that, I feel like leaning towards a leaner diet just in terms of overall calories is science shows that it's better for longevity, and that's what I'm going for, that good aesthetic longevity. Okay, mission success, healthy dinner created, and it's necessary now because whoa, I can just feel that crash when I'm working there and I'm focusing on things, and I don't know, the blood sugar's down or whatever the hell it is, but it is, it becomes dire. I feel this wave of energetic anxiety or lack of energy manifested in a form of anxiety. I can feel the boogeyman at the door, so to speak, but guarantee. There's another thing, hot tip for life. You really do, and this is something, again, I think it's because your systems are more susceptible to being janky as fuck when you get older. But then when you do things that are good for your system, you really, really notice them because you're now at the whims of physicality much more than you are when you're made of rubber and a little bit younger. When I eat better, wow, do I notice a huge difference. And kind of conversely, if I eat shitty food, it's there are things in our lives that will depress us, but turns out a big massive shame dinner from McDonald's is incredibly depressing. You have the immediate blood sugar spike, which is a rush, and it's awesome, but I'm not sure exactly what's occurring hormonally. But when you eat that kind of food afterwards, I mean, obviously this is sort of self-hate because you're I'm a pig, I'm a slave, kill me. But in addition to that there's something where it is definitely not contributing to the whole dopamine happy juice beyond the initial mowing down on your shame dinner. But yeah, gonna do this, and once I do this, I'll have that second wave energy. It's not too late, and I should be able to go up there and hammer out the rest of that PowerPoint for the lesson, which is cool. It comes together pretty quick, but my focus has been 60% today. Not so bad, not so good. I'm getting it done though, and this is Saturday, so that's awesome. That's awesome. Not even having it, waited till Sunday, and Sunday will be way chiller because of that. So that's good. All good things right now. Feeling pretty cool. Peeling pretty fly. As much as I ever can, I like to, once you make dinner, then you clean up after, right? Isn't this just rock star vlogger YouTube stuff? What we really need is a drone flying around this living room right now to add that cinematic quality to it. And I also need to be way more energetic. This energy level, I've realized, not high enough. If you want the clicks, you need to basically seem like you've done 7 rails. And just, whoa, I love my life. Well, what a wonderful day. It's amazing the difference that a single run can make to your whole mentality. I really feel that it was keyed off from that today. I felt great. It was productive. I got the work done for my work, which now frees up more time for the creative work, which I love so much. Also, maybe I could be going to bed a little bit earlier, but it's fine. I'll go to bed soon. I'm going to read. Oh no. Loud noises. I'm reading Peter F. Hamilton's Salvation Lost. If you ever want to know me and what I love this author so much. It's just the most fascinating thing in the world. The first one, this is the second in the series. This is the most recent he's writing right now. The first was this cool, like, almost sci-fi Canterbury Tales where each character was representative of something and they were all on this journey, like really, really similar. Of course, you're going to have story beats that repeat themselves through history, but I thought that was kind of cool. Just like a random thing, to say nothing else, that went on in the storyline that was deeply satisfying and well written and beautiful and exquisite and all these other things that I love so much. But yeah, I'm gonna read this now. I'm gonna probably inevitably spend like a little bit of time on Reddit. Tomorrow, I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna go for this high intensity interval training again, and I like it. I've already kind of got a route that I know works for 3 5-minute intervals. That's what I'm doing as currently. I'll probably bump that up again to 4 when I'm like feeling better and better. I do 4 or 5-minute intervals. But I know, like, just starting up now, not being really worn down, having a good sleep, I should be able to do it well. And then, yeah, much more to come. I hope you guys like this. I'm gonna do this now. I won't say that this won't take priority over other things that we do, but I'm gonna actually create like a separate playlist, and it's gonna be vlogs, and they're gonna be this kind of just day in the life, way less trying to accomplish like a particular thought experiment or something, because I feel this almost like maybe more so than even the podcast, where the podcast can be like a little bit studious or academic, so not everybody wants to go in that kind of, get in that vein, where this is just kind of like shooting the shit, casual, whatever random thoughts pop into the head, which is fun, kind of therapeutic for me here. But be forewarned, for the most part, my routine has to follow this very, very simple life right now. I would be ashamed were I out doing crazy things, because the world's on lockdown and you don't want to put other people at risk by, I've said that. It's not about me I'm worried about. It's about immunocompromised people, that if I were to ever give them something as a result of my Sharona, then I would feel, I could never forget that. But anyways, yeah, not to end on a dark beat here. It's an awesome day. This has been fun. I was productive. Hope you enjoyed it. Please do consider supporting me on my Patreon. That's down below in the links for the video. Drop a like. Hit the bell notification if you want to be notified as soon as a video goes live on the channel. And I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.